Moving on to the next question. How does the setting affect the story? So I kind of asked that question a little bit ago. Like, how does having the story be set on the island affect the storyline? Like, how does that change who he is as a character? Lucas?
Well, if you're on an island, you have a lot more you have salt water and salt water surrounding you, and you can't drink salt water. And there are dangerous animals. If you're lucky, you can land on an island that's that there's actually a town there. Mm-hmm. But if you're lucky, you'll land on an island that no one's there. Like, there was this movie that I watched, Castaway, mm-hmm. and he had a little friend named Wilson that was a volleyball, mm-hmm. and he painted on it. So that was his friend in the movie, and that kept him company. And
so you have a connection to someone being on an island.
And when you're on an island, you need to find water, or else you can't live. You need to find your own food, or you won't live. And you need a shelter. In that movie, he had a little cave. And that's what would change how hard it would be, because if you were on somewhere that had a bigger space, then there would be more likely that you found water.
Right, absolutely. All right, this group that just read Touching Spiritbearer, how does the setting affect the story? Like, how does it play into what's happening in the story? Who wants to start? Brian, go ahead.
It affects the story because he's on the island and he needs to depend on Mother Nature, and he needs to find his own stuff. Because in the city, you can just go buy stuff and then you can use it. Mm-hmm. But on an island, you have to go get your own stuff. So that's how the island affects.
I think you guys kind of already answered this question when I asked about the island. So can you go a little bit more in depth about how, like, being by himself when he's trying to discover who he is and change himself played into that? How does being on an island change the storyline?
Well, when there's a problem, he can't blame anybody else. He only has to blame himself because there's nobody else there with him. So he has to learn that you can't blame other people for your problems and your activities that you did.
Yeah. Do you have something to add?
It affects the story because it sort of isolates him. Because if he, like Luke said, if he was on an island, that people on it, he could blame them for their actions, and he could do what he did to Peter, which bashed his head into the pavement.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't really learn too much of a lesson if it wasn't isolated.
Yeah, absolutely. So the author of this book, he created suspense throughout what you were reading. And does anybody remember what part of our chart, their plot chart, that is? Is that going up or going down? Going up, right? That's suspense? Yep. Okay. Jagged lines going up to the big climax, the big events. How does the author create suspense in this story to make you want to keep reading?
Well, first, when Cole got attacked by the Spirit Bear, that I was wondering, I had so much questions in my mind, like, is he going to live? Is the Spirit Bear going to let him live? Is he going to back away or anything? And that made suspense because I wanted to keep reading. I wanted to know if he was okay. I wanted to know if he would stay in the island alone, but he didn't. He actually went to a hospital.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
I think the author creates suspense by when he hurts Peter, like he gets really hurt, and then the chapter ends, and you're like, what? We have to stop reading now? And you're like, what's going to happen next? And then also when he's in the island and he first sees the Spirit Bear and then he threatens him, that creates suspense because you're also wondering, like, how
if he's gonna stay alive, is he going to live, or like if he's gonna get just an injury.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Absolutely. All right, let's move over to my side of the mountain. So that's this group right over here. Who's your main character do you have more than one main character? Do you have just one? Who did you choose to talk about their characteristics? Sam? Did you all choose Sam? All right, so let's just start with Aaliyah, and let's talk about why you admire Sam in this story.
Oh, because he's brave.
Okay? What makes him brave?
Well, he's by himself, just in the wilderness.
Yeah? Zach?
That I also think he's brave because, like, on the island, when he got attacked by the bear, he still tried to fight it.
Okay, so what character quality would you give him then?
Strong and brave.
Strong and brave, absolutely.
I admire him because after all he's been through, he's kept a level head, and he's been joyful because he had to endure the winter, and it must have been hard collecting food, water, they even trained a falcon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I admire Sam because he's independent and brave, because he's in a forest by himself and he makes food by himself.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. We kind of talked about the bravery and the strength for the attributes, so let's go down and talk about how the character changes throughout the story. So, your character Sam, is he the same person he was at the beginning of the story when you're finishing the story? No? Who wants to start explaining how you think that he changed? Go ahead.
Because he changed because when he was on the island, he had to have independence, and like if something happened, he had to do it himself to fix it.
So he had to be a problem solver, right? Okay. Want to add to it? You want to? Go ahead.
I think he changed by being self-sufficient to himself because he has no family or friends.
Okay, self-sufficient. Yeah, absolutely. Problem solver to become self-sufficient. Anything else you two want to add to this one, or should we go to the next question?
I'll say something.
Okay.
He learns more how to be independent by not relying on his homestead in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of a connection between this last story and your story. Did your character also come from a city and be put on an island? Or is it a mountain?
It's a mountain.
A mountain. So kind of the same thing, right? He's pretty much secluded. Is there other people in the story?
Well, there's some.
Yeah, they're like not as important, but
Yeah.
there is more people in the story.
Okay. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next question. What's the main character's purpose? Like, why a mountain? Why are we going to a mountain? Carson.
Because his quest is to survive on his own and get to his grandpa's farm, which is in the mountains, and survive on the farm for a while.
Is there a reason why he had to go there, or did he make the choices by himself?
Well, he wanted to go there because when his dad said that farm isn't for greedy anymore, and he sort of wanted to prove him wrong and live on the land.
Awesome. All right, should we go to the next question? What events made survival hard for the character? Like, was his adventure there super easy? Okay, explain.
When he was there, like, he didn't have any water because it was all salt water, and to get food he had to get like wild berries and plants, and he didn't know if they were safe to eat or not.
One event is when the winter comes, he had to change his diet, and when the hunters came, he had to hide a little bit because hunters would think that he's an animal and try shooting him.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else that has read this book want to add on? Go ahead.
like if you like normally hunters wear orange so you don't get shot.
Yep.
And when you're out there, he's probably really dirty. Like
10:30.
he has
10:30.
dirt on him.
It's only
his
10:15.
clothes are probably wrecked, and they would think he was an animal because he would be blending into the forest because that's the things that he's been laying on, sleeping on.
Mhm.
And
I think he has like a shower that he just goes in.
no.
Okay, well, just checking. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. How does the setting and where he is in the mountain affect the story? Go ahead.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. It affects the story because in the wilderness, he had different resources than other places. Like, once in a while he went into the city to grab some stuff because he wasn't that far away. But normally he would just stay and get food on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was like on an island, he had to get different resources than he might here. Like he might get coconuts or berries, while here he gets meat and plants.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, anything else you guys want to add about the author holding suspense? Otherwise, we're moving on to the next group. Anything else you want to add? No? All right, Hatchet, just two of you. Let's see. Main character.
Brian Robinson.
Okay, Brian Robinson, you agree? Is that the one you did too? Awesome. Tell me a little bit about him and his character qualities.
He's brave. He's creative.
Can you tell us why he has those things?
Because he had a plane crash and he survived through it, and he's not just giving up, he's continuing to try to live.
Okay, did he know how to fly the plane when he landed the plane?
No, but he had some pretty good ideas on how to.
Okay. What kind of character qualities would you say, Olivia?
I say he's brave because he does dangerous things. He I don't know how to explain it, but he's also it's kind of hard to explain, but
He's mischievous.
yeah, mischievous.
Mischievous. Okay. All right. What's the next question?
I admire this character because
Yeah, why do you admire him and his adventurous self?
I kind of just shared this, but he doesn't give up, and all he does is try to get things to keep living on and trying to get help.
Why do you admire him as the main character of the story?
Brian is brave because he does a lot of dangerous things, and he tries to kind of fix the plane or something.
Okay. Yeah, he goes back out to the plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tries to see what he can do to get back to where he came from. Did he also come from a city?
It's
Anybody
like
remember?
a city, but it's also like a town.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And now he's in a rural place where he has to kind of figure out how to live without a store. Okay, we all go to the store and get what we need to eat, and go to the store and get what we need to do everything. Okay, and he doesn't have that. So, how does the character change throughout the story?
He goes from kind of this little kid to being a lone person on this small area with nothing to have for food, or he has one weapon, which is a hatchet that he can use.
Mm-hmm.
He gets scared, worried and mad, and what Kelsey said, he only has a weapon.